Hey guys, and welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Today we have something very special to share with you all. Now, some of you may be aware that the Creative Club has recently reached 1 million room visits, which is a pretty awesome milestone to reach. So, in celebration of reaching this milestone, we've decided to sit down and interview various creators from the community in hopes of sharing some insight and perspectives from the creators of Rec Room with the rest of the community. Now, I want to quickly acknowledge that this is a rather long interview session, so we've put timestamps in the description so that you can better navigate the video. There will also be rec.net links to each of the creators in the rooms featured. I also want to quickly shout out Andy Liner for helping with managing this project and reaching out to the creative community to make this idea possible. And with that out of the way, let's get into the interviews. Enjoy. I mainly create in Rec Room because it is a tremendous tool that allows me to explore my imagination.
The biggest reason why I create is because, this is just an amazing place where everything that you can think of creatively can happen.
And there's certain things in life that we can't experience, in this physical reality. So you come to a virtual reality, we have these tools. You can, create custom logic.
We have circuits that let you make game functionality. We have, gizmos, animations, all kinds of great, gadgets that we can use in order to make wonderful creations, and we can bring our world to life.
I create in Rec Room more or less too. Again, like I said, like you're able to look at something and just go, wow. But to bring like ideas to life,
that's not really something you can find in a lot of games. I mean, there's Minecraft, Roblox, and there's not really much of a place for VR.
I create in Rec Room because it is an outlet that I can just freely create whatever I want and show everyone. And it's not like I'm dedicated to one space where I can just go ahead and share on social media. I can bring people into the experience and share this experience with others.
I create in Rec Room mostly just for the fun of it, if I'm being honest.
Because I really enjoy to, and it's just a lot of fun and gives me something to do. Meet a lot of new people.
Also, it's like, I know like people enjoy what I build, and that kind of helps motivate me. Like, because I like to build mostly hangout rooms, and just like knowing that people like spend time in here laughing with others, talking, doing all that good stuff is really awesome.
So there's a number of reasons why I create in Rec Room. First of all, because it's a good platform to create. It's easy, it's nice to use, but obviously it has those advanced aspects to it, like the new CV2 as well. I've been trying to get into that, and have been using it a lot in my recent games as well. Another reason is obviously the new feature of giving creators a chance to make some money out of it. So I've been using that to try and get a stable kind of income and flow of money coming in.
So, I'm creating because I consider myself a really nerdy person. So my reason why I create is so I can bring the stuff that I love and I just geek out about to other people inside of this, because it's an amazing platform with so many creative tools.
And also just like building with my friends, just do something about that, like connections to you whilst building. Like in this room, I remember just having my friends in here building one night. Just a lot of fun, really.
Why do I create in Rec Room? I like to have a lot of fun, and I like to just, see a project, go to fruition. Being able to complete something, be proud of it. Being able to make something that, someone, might not be having the best day, and then they join that room or they get that invention, and it kind of makes them, smile a little bit, or, make their day a little bit better, along with, just teaching others how to build so that they can also create those memories themselves. It's just, for me, it's just a wholesome, creation, being able to build and make people happy.
So the reason I create in Rec Room is because I love the fact that I get to build in here in Rec Room. I love the fact that I get to pick a pin out and start building environments, and as I'm building, I'm actually creating the environment while I'm in it. It's just a completely different immersive way of creating. I have a background in animation and have animated for many years, but the fact that I can actually be in here making what I'm making is just the most gratifying and the most creative way to just be completely immersed in my own art. So my favorite part about creating in Rec Room is the fact that I'm able to go into a room that is completely empty and just pull out my maker pen and just start building.
So my favorite part about creating in Rec Room is taking a object I've never been able to do before, like for example a spaceship or even this, and then figuring out as I go along what works and what doesn't work as I make it. Because for each time I make something, it's like a brand new learning curve. Because I try to never repeat what I do.
My favorite part about creating in Rec Room is probably the potential that the creation tools give us in terms of, I guess, exploring our imagination and bringing forth ideas that we really just want to bring to life and bring to the world.
Every time I have an idea, either like walking down the street or maybe walking through the mall, and then I see something like a really nice looking chair that I'm in love with, I'll take a picture of it, I'll come back into Rec Room, and I'll just keep recreating it until I just find that perfect match of reality versus this cartoony style of Rec Room, and I'm able to create everything, you know, that I have a passion for.
My favorite part about creating is really how much you can create. Like there's no really limit. There's like if you like play games like Minecraft and stuff like that, like those are very good games, but in Rec Room you can really just create anything you want, like with circuits and building.
My favorite part about creating in Rec Room is just how fluid it works in VR. I've done a lot of other creation games like, you know, Minecraft, you know, Gary's Mod and all that, and just I could never really click with them, but once I started, you know, messing around with the Maker Pen, it just started, you know, making more sense and just, you know, giving me that advantage to, you know, be able to create stuff that I wasn't able to do in a, you know, 2D based screen game.
My favorite part about creating in Rec Room is the fact that you can gather all your friends, people from all around the world, and jump in a room and create an amazing experience together, and then share that with the world.
Favorite part about creating in Rec Room is probably the community and the people that I've met.
Another thing I really like about creation is the potential it has to bring people together and create community. As someone who's been building on the game for almost 4 years now, one thing I've noticed is that, you know, through these experiences that us creators can make, we can really bring people together and, you know, create long-lasting friendships, and it's just beautiful to see.
Working with other people mainly, because that's basically why I play this game, because it's nice to interact with other people, build stuff, and watch the game grow as a map and as a community that it like builds with it.
It is really fun, it is free, and you don't need to go to Lowe's to buy tons of things to build something really amazing to show the world. And it's really convenient.
It lets me create great worlds. It allows me to create individual objects, maybe personal items that I've always wanted to make. This gives me a great platform to do that without having to understand 3D rendering and all that stuff that, you know, Blender and all these big 3D design platforms require.
You know, the sky's the limit. You can make whatever you could dream in here, and I just love that.
You're able to really, you know, bring any experience you want into virtual reality, which is amazing.
My favorite part about creating in Rec Room, it's more about the memories you make along the way. Because being able to create something and then step back and look at it and just think, wow, like it's just like that feeling you get in that moment. It's a really good feeling.
I've been playing for over a year now, and at first I used to play like a lot of Rec Room original and stuff, and I just kind of naturally found the creative tools, and I'd mess around in my dorm a little bit, do some gadgets, just make some like cool, silly stuff. Eventually, I wanted to, pursue it more than just doing a little bit messing around, so I joined the CreativeClub, and I would start going to workshops, and later on I became a workshop host myself, so it's really cool that I've really came so far as just going to them to becoming a host of them.
I got into creating in Rec Room because I wanted to help make an impact.
Before I was a creator, I really enjoyed the Rec Room original aspect of the game. Now this, keep in mind, this is 2017, so it's really just paintball, Quest, things like that. But specifically Quest, I was a great speedrunner.
I kind of like was playing Rec Room before creation was a thing. I was really much of a Quest player. I had a couple of other friends that I would go questing with. I was a speedrunner even back in the day. And I kept on seeing some of these random creations popping up in rooms. This was before you could actually save rooms.
I think it took me like about a month of, kind of looking around the community and seeing what other people were coming up with. And kind of once I saw, all the things that other people were making at the time, it really inspired me to pick up the maker pen and just start making stuff of my own.
And there were all these like really interesting things happening in Rec Room, but nobody could save their creations. And they were really beautiful. And I just was really impacted by the things that people could make with such small amount of tools already. And once creation happened, it kind of just took my life. That's just the way I went. And I just decided to create some experiences, and a lot of people really enjoyed just jumping in and having these experiences and playing PvP maps and doing all these other really fun things with your friends that you can't really do in other games. You can't just go ahead and build a game and just share with a bunch of people. You have to go through a lot of processes to do that. And Rec Room really just kind of breaks down those barriers right now.
And so it started with, basic, when I started out, I wasn't even using custom shapes. I was using all the Rec Room original props and just creating scenes. It wasn't until a little bit after that I really started, drawing out my own shapes, and, our first creations are never our best work. So if you were to go back in time, and I think the first stream that I ever published was called Corner Store, and if you were to go back and compare that with what I'm able to do now, it is completely different, and you probably wouldn't even be able to recognize it.
Back whenever I started building back in 2019, I wasn't super familiar with the Maker Pen. I saw all these great rooms being made, featured rooms and whatnot, and I thought that they were great, but I never really thought I'd be getting into Maker Pen because, it looked really complicated. So
I met some people, specifically a person called Walt Disney. He still designs, and yeah, he was not as good at the time as he is now, but he was he started working with me, and we started working together, and we just got really passionate about what we were doing, even though it did not look the greatest. So yeah, that experience working with him got me into creating a lot since then.
After I started learning how to use it, initially, I made a small little map. It was just a spelling bee, and that's where I also met Marisa, because she joined my room while I was in it, and she thought the idea of a spelling bee was great. So she asked if I could get it featured, and I had no idea who she was at the time. So that was a really good experience because it helped me understand more about the creative community with Marisa's helping me, and it was my first look at becoming a creator in Rec Room. I never really had that opportunity before I just decided to dive into it and help out with these competitions.
How did I get into creating for Rec Room? It was mainly just because me and my friends wanted a chill place to hang out, because we would go to rooms like Taco, Winter Lodge, and other little hangouts. We're we really want our own hangout to, be able to, use our pen in, be able to build and just make something that, others would also enjoy too.
I got into creating from other people, building, and I just got very inspired by them, and I wanted to be one of the best, and to make unique games, stick with the latest trends, and recreate experiences within VR, and within a 3D environment.
I got into creating, it was maybe just over 3 years ago. I was, so my friend group was Swag Muffin, Heber, and Phil. So I would always hang around with them, and they would always create stuff. And then one day I was like, this is really cool, I want to create stuff too. So I picked up a Maker Pen. I was on screen mode at the time on PlayStation, so it was horrible. But yeah, Looked up the maker pen, started building stuff, looked at it, I was like, alright, this doesn't quite look right, delete it, redo it. And then yeah, I built my first room, published it, and people liked it. So I was like, right, this is it, I'm gonna carry on building.
So how I got creating in Rec Room was I just jumped in and was looking around at all the different things. And one of the first things I saw was a flying pirate ship up in the sky in this room, built by a builder I had known at the time as Marisa, who obviously we all know now. And I just kept looking at all the different things people were building at that time, and because this was when building was actually kind of sort of new, like people were using the straight pen. They just now had made the maker pen. You actually couldn't even fly at the time, so you had to build scaffolding to build. But I just took the maker pen out and I just started playing with it and just seeing what you could do with it. And just again, like I just jumped in and started building my own rooms and my own stuff to just learn through trial and error.
So there's a creator called Woody Buzz, and I've seen his work since 2019, back when I worked with Walt, like I said in the previous question. He's what inspires me most, able to take so many different things from fandom and just recreate them as exactly as he possibly can, and bring that experience to people, which is what I like to do.
Ooh. So this one's a tough one because I have a lot of people that inspire me as I get inspiration from as a creator, and I can name a few in Rec Room today. One is Zexus. He does an amazing escape rooms in Rec Room. Underscore Seb does a really amazing rooms, experimental rooms even with Grubby, very good.
My biggest inspiration would probably be Dwalin and Crafty Sponge, just because they make such amazing rooms and they always focus on detail and overall experience.
Oh, Mr. Legolas, very amazing creator, creates really, really good games, really good experiences, an amazing sculptor even. He really has brought a lot of inspiration, but a lot of other inspirations that I see outside of Rec Room are usually companies. Like I get a lot of inspiration from Google designers.
I definitely see the build team 3 of a kind is my biggest inspiration. If you haven't heard of them, they've made like games like the Carnival Carnage and Silent Hill Origins of Evil. They're definitely my biggest inspirations because like they always stay together like as a team, like they never like split up, and there's that awesome community, and they've built some incredible maps. They've won the Carnival contest. They've really just built so many cool stuff.
And a lot of designers from Trivi. So there's a lot of designers that I get inspiration outside of Rec Room, while I see other creators that I get inspiration from within Rec Room. And I honestly am always inspired by all the creators in Rec Room. So this is really always blowing me away.
Okay, so I would say that Marisa was my biggest inspiration as a creator, because if it wasn't really for her deciding to feature my spelling bee map, which was my first ever featured room, I likely wouldn't have continued getting too deep into the maker pen.
So my biggest inspiration as a creator is got to be Bob Ross, because he's calm when it comes to creating, and when he paints and all that, it's that. Also some other Rec Room creators as well that are there.
Some of my biggest inspiration for creating in Rec Room would have to be the biggest one would have to be Tacos. Seeing all the wide varieties of maps he's done, all the rooms and all the stuff he's accomplished, that kind of got that spark going for me.
I'd say by far my biggest inspiration is probably just things, literally just like day-to-day things that I've experienced either from other video games or in real life. For example, things like Gary's Mod or Minecraft really resonated with me because of the sandbox tools. So take a room like RP_Union City, for example. That room is actually heavily inspired from a Garry's Mod map, and even the gameplay is inspired from the Dark RP game mode. And so things like that really just serve as inspiration, because at the end of the day, what I'm trying to go for is a new experience. Bringing a new experience to people, bringing it into VR, and just having fun with it.
Probably my friends, just seeing like everyone like develop and grow together. It's like, okay, like, so they're doing stuff, I'm gonna do stuff. All do stuff together, we all have fun. So yeah, they inspire me to build, to create nice things.
Watching, you know, other, you know, adults learning these tools and being able to, you know, build such amazing, you know, creations. It kind of made me look at it and just be like, you know, hey, I want to be that, you know, I want to get to that point where, you know, I'm looked at as a good creator, not for, you know, clout or fame, but just kind of being looked at as, you know, hey, they're good at creating. They look like, you know, they make good looking things. They make good rooms. That's kind of something that I wanted, you know, do and just get to.
So I would have to say my biggest inspiration here in Rec Room, honestly, is everybody. I am constantly inspired by what everyone is making in here. And it hasn't been just like right now, but through the years, you know, like there's just so many amazing creators and so many amazing people out there that are just coming up with amazing different techniques for building, amazing different techniques for playing games and making games, and different ways to push the tools and push the limits of what we can do in here. That it's just every day I'm constantly surprised and inspired by all the new stuff that people are creating here.
What motivates me as a creator? It's really dumb, but like I'll be scrolling through Instagram, or like I'll like walk outside. I'll like travel places in real life, and I'll see something. I go, wow, like that, like small concept that I'll see, or like a design, like, oh, that's really cool. Like I would love to build this or create this. So yeah, that's what motivates me, because you look at something small, and then like it's what you can build onto that. So that's where the creative side comes from, because you have to take something small and make it into something big.
I would say mostly just like people that play my games. Like every once in a while I'll get like a message saying like, hey, I loved your game, or just something small and simple like that, and so it's so sweet. And like hey, keep up what you're doing, or like, hey, the map was so detailed, like, that's awesome. Like that kind of stuff, like that really makes my day. Like I get messages like that and comments on rooms, and like when I see people take the time out of the day to like write something just short and sweet and simple, like that's really what motivates me. And then my friends also play a huge part in my motivation. They always like keep me going as a creator and like, want me to succeed and be successful.
What motivates me as a creator? Well, that's kind of a mixed bag. It's everything from watching, you know, the rooms I work on flesh out and actually take shape, to helping new players and showing them, you know, the ropes and teaching them how to build, making tutorials so that others can learn, and just, you know, just watching that spark grow, watching someone learn how to do something so that they can actually, you know, do it themselves.
What motivates me as a creator is probably the experience itself. Anytime that I'm starting a new project, I always keep in mind and have a clear vision of kind of the overall experience that I want the user to, you know, actually play. And so, by kind of picking the experiences that I want to create, I see those experiences as the reward itself. I don't really build for subscribers. I don't really build for money, although it is, like I said, an awesome opportunity that we're able to make money from this. I strictly build for the experience. And through doing this, I found that what motivates me the most is the experience itself. You know, as I get closer to fulfilling this vision that I have, that in itself is the reward.
What motivates me as a creator is bringing my imagination to life and sharing that imagination with others. And that's what motivates me as a creator.
What motivates me as a creator? Probably my friends and the monetization value that Rec Room has.
What motivates me as a creator is seeing all of my friends who are creators and watching them work and passionately grind for something that they believe in.
Pretty much knowing that there'll be a reward out of it, as well as other people motivating me to design games with them, and all the other things that come with Rec Room as a whole, as in just the full-blown experience, the gadgets, the different things that you could do with the Maker Pen.
Because there are times where people, they reach their limit, they reach their creative limit, and then they pass on that torch to someone else to, carry that flame and try to, build better and, bring in new ideas. Watching us grow and just seeing the differences in each contest, going back to like time travel and fantasy, then, jumping forward to Wonderland, jumping forward to Mystery, jumping forward to, Stranded, and just seeing the quality between everything. Watching as we grow as a community, all the while, watching ourselves grow. That's kind of what just motivates me to build.
I love creating stories. I love creating works of art, experiences, interactive experiences, and I really like and I enjoy sharing that with the world and just getting feedback from everyone and just really experiencing that with them.
So to motivate me, it's just fandom. Even like this room we are currently in, this is based on the game Star Citizen, and I love the different ships in it, and I love everything sci-fi. So to motivate me, I find some fandom or something like that, and I just build to my heart's content.
It's really just a matter of having an idea and then executing. It takes a lot of thought, a lot of planning, but overall, if you have a good idea and you want to bring that into Rec Room, let that idea be your motivation. The fact that you want to bring that into being should be the motivation that you need. It shouldn't revolve around like clout or trying to get subscribers or trying to get visits, because honestly, when you're working from that perspective, you're not going to get your best work. Your best work always comes from the projects that you genuinely and passionately want to pursue from the heart.
So what motivates me as a creator in Rec Room is just getting to see again everything that everybody is making and be inspired by it. And it really motivates me to push myself and make myself a better creator and a better builder. I'll see something that somebody did and I'll immediately be like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I got to go try that and figure it out. And I'll try to see how they did it. And in doing so, I'll figure something out, which then hopefully I'll share with other people as well. I love the collaborative space that is building in Rec Room. And that's what drives me.
If there was one thing I could tell every new creator, it would probably be just to be nice and respect the community, because there's always someone new and you can always help them.
If there's one thing I could tell every new creator, it'd be that like, you have a long journey ahead of you, but trust me, it's gonna be a fun one.
One thing I would tell new creators is not to get discouraged when you're starting, because you're not going to be good your first couple tries.
If you think that your work is, if you're not satisfied with what you make because you're, judging someone else's work and you're comparing that work to yours, then obviously you're going to get discouraged, because everyone's at their own levels, everyone has their own journey and learns at their own pace. And so I would just recommend, just take your time, focus on creating things that you actually want to experience yourself, and never compare your work to others. It should always be comparing your current work to your previous work, and then from there you can kind of gauge your progress.
I promise, it might not be easy at times, you might get frustrated, there might even be some bugs going on in the game, but overall you can have so much fun, and you'll be able to create amazing spaces. I've been building for over a year now, and trust me, I was not the best builder when I started, but if you just work through it and keep persevering and stuff like that, then you'll be able to get somewhere far.
Everyone starts somewhere. They obviously start at 0 subscribers, 0 experience. All you have to do is ask people around you. This Rec Room place is full of amazing people that can help you.
If there was one thing that I could tell every new creator, it would by far just to be
Tube. Just use Tube. Tube's amazing. Everything Tube. Not everything. Collision's not Tube. But like, Tube is a gateway to creation.
a lot of people don't understand that uniform shapes and connect nearby tubes can do wonders for tube creations.
Practicing, gathering more knowledge, learning how the creation tools work, learning CV1 and now learning CV2, just taking those baby steps to get better and better and looking how to improve on it.
Take a class, use the Discord, all of that stuff. Work with other people that are experienced, and then through time, you will just grow and grow.
It does take time to be able to not perfect, but to build upon skills with the Maker Pen, because you'll see loads of people that expect to look at someone else's stuff and go, wow, that's really cool, I want to do that. But it's not an overnight process. Like, it's taken me like 3 years to learn how to use the Maker Pen.
Don't look at your creations as, even if they weren't really that good, don't really look at them as a failure or, a disappointment. Just look at them as a stepping stool to the next big thing you create.
There's no such thing as being bad. It's just less experienced, less skilled. So yeah, you just need to keep on developing your skills.
Just analyze the work around you. Buy inventions that you can edit and analyze those inventions. See how those techniques work. Learn those techniques and just use them in your own work so you can learn how to create really amazing things. And when you do that, you can go to the next step where you can just start sketching or getting inspiration from other sources and combining inspiration to create your own original works.
So if there was one thing that I would tell every new creator, it would be to come, join the Creative Club, and also sign up for classes. It's the best way for you to get to start to know the creative community and also start to learn about the Maker Pen and what you can do with it.
In a year from now, the community would probably be to the point where people are making good amount of money from it, and have designed out of like something that we could have never imagined be in a VR game. Like, with the advancements of technology over the time, VR would obviously improve with that, and it becoming the new way of experiencing games, the VR. It will obviously take off from there and become one of the best platforms to create, design, experience games. I think Rec Room has a high chance of being up there.
So I hope that the community, like right now, this is amazing to me. I've been doing VR since it was originally launched on PlayStation, so many years back, and the quality and everything I've seen is just mind-blowing year to year to year.
I have actually been doing a lot of analytics and looking into numbers a lot regarding Rec Room's games, and I can say that from what I've seen, Rec Room's community is growing at an extremely fast rate. Like, it is nearly exponential. It is beautiful, and I see it getting a lot bigger, of course, but I also see the creations and the expectations and the priorities and the standards of Rec Room rising drastically with that.
I see the creative community just evolving so much, because with the tools I currently see are being added every month, it seems like. I just see creations that are just stunningly realistic, or stunningly animated, or have just a style that I've never seen before, is where I see Rec Room going.
But within a year from now, I definitely hope to see, or I expect to see Rec Room's quality and size definitely increase quite a bit.
I expect there to be a ton of new ideas, a ton of new creators, and I expect to see the current creators increasing their skills on the platform. Rec Room's been experimenting with creator payouts, and I expect that hopefully to increase, because as creators, I believe that we are the heart of the community, and as someone who's been building for free for pretty much 3 years, it's really cool to have an opportunity to actually make a living off of this, and I hope that in the future that we have more opportunities to do so.
Where do I hope Rec Room's community to be in a year from now? I hope it's bigger. There's new ideas, new people, and new rooms made.
Hopefully we get a lot of new faces and a lot of new ideas coming out, new ways of looking at stuff, people being more open to sharing ideas, because that's another big thing that's kind of been contention in the community, of people not being as open to teaching or sharing.
So I definitely hope to see a lot more transparency in the creative community. I hope to see Rec Room's devs communicate a little bit more. I do understand that they are communicating, they host Q&As, but I think full transparency, or at least more transparency with creating, would be a next step for Rec Room.
So I hope that bugs and stuff that are with the maker pen, those are all sorted out. But I also hope to see new tools, which I know on development side of things, it's a hard goal to fix bugs and also implement new things, and that's why there are so many bugs. But just seeing the improvement of tools and new UIs being fixed and stuff like that, within VirTubes being replaced with something even cooler would be awesome. And I love how Rec Room, where they take bugs and fix them, but then turn into something awesome. So I really can't wait to see what they do with that.
I also hope to see Rec Room's community growing in the sense that, right now everything's kind of oriented around the creative community, the CreativeClub, and I want to see more communities spring up that are focused around creation, that aren't limited to the CreativeClub, although that is an excellent start. But I really want to see people kind of coming up with their own ideas, their own organizations that are geared towards bringing new creations to Rec Room.
Rec Room's creative community is pretty large right now. Where we want to see it is the next step is creating businesses in Rec Room. And right now we see that with a couple of other organizations popping up right now. You can go to recroom.com/creative and then select the creative communities tab, and you could find out all the new upcoming organizations popping up in Rec Room right now. So what we would like to see with that is them becoming making money in Rec Room. So we want to see those communities get brought up and then see other smaller communities become those communities. So we just want to kind of see a progression of more organizations popping up in Rec Room, and these are coming from our creators.
So over the next year, I really, really hope to get to see the creative community just continue to grow. I want to see us all continue to push the boundaries of what we can build in here. Really start thinking about what we could create as good, solid experiences that take a player from the beginning all the way through to the end, whether it be a story, a game, or just an artistic experience. I really want to see us pushing ourselves and pushing the envelope of what is stuff that we can make in here that makes Rec Room unique.
My favorite memory as a creator is just building with my team and just all the fun, little jokes and just messing around that we've done.
So there was this one time when me and my friends were in my build room, and I was drawing on a canvas. Loads of people joined, and then everyone just started spawning in loads of inventions, just stupid stuff.
But there's just those few moments where, you're just messing around with someone, or, you're poking fun at them, you're shooting them with a gun halfway across the map.
And it was just really funny. We was all messing around and that. Messing around with the maker pen, creating stuff.
Or you're putting in, a silly little thing, a Peppa Pig 2D like little creation, you're just hiding it somewhere, and then
Just memeing on everything. Yeah, which is really funny.
Making my very first map. It was one of those basic climbing maps. And it was one of the first games I created, and so many people joined, and it was so overwhelming. And I was using the self-scale thing to have fun with the players. And yeah, it was an enjoyable experience, and I wish I could go back to those times.
My favorite memory as a creator is probably just the ridiculous amount of fun that I've had with friends that I've made, through my creations. Some of my favorite are probably when I've done finest venues, which are like the concerts, events that I've held, just fun get-togethers with friends and, just hanging out. It's probably the best part.
My favorite memory as a creator was long ago. This goes way back in 2017 when we had first creation tools very similar to what you see on the charades pin today, and that was pretty much about it. I created a pirate ship.
Back in 2019, I wasn't too familiar with the Maker Pen, but as I gradually got into Rec Room, I figured out that there was something called contests. And at the time, there was a high seas contest, and this was before I really understood Maker Pen a lot. I thought, it'd be interesting to try out a contest. So what I did is I got a few of my buddies together that I've been playing, Rec Room Originals with, paintball, quests, and I got them all together, and we just decided to do a 4-day last-minute project, and it was called Hawaiian Cove.
I spent like 4 days creating this pirate ship, and I couldn't leave the room, so I would just sit my headset down and leave, but I would never leave the room because there was a lot of ways to create something really large, and I was learning those techniques to create this really big, amazing pirate ship.
And I mean, this map came from nothing to a really nice island that me and my friends worked together on, and it's just a memory that I'm always going to stick with, and it's just something I can always look back on whenever I think of Rec Room.
And this pirate ship, you can walk on and go into the different areas, and people can role play in it. And it ended up being really popular in Rec Room when I launched it. And one of my favorite moments is just jumping into the world and just meeting all the players there, and they're pointing at, oh, that's the creator. She built this pirate ship. And then they all came to me and they wanted to build amazing experiences just like that pirate ship. So I started the Maker Pen class during that time, and I was teaching all these other creators to create amazing experiences just like the pirate ship.
My favorite memory would probably be building this one room called the Concrete, and I remember I had all my super close friends there one night building, and it wasn't anything specific, we would joke around and stuff, but we just have fun together.
Back in Carnival, when I just went to a rec center, I'm like, hey, do you know how to build? And this guy's like, I mean, sort of. Took the chance on the guy, and we ended up making a pretty decent room, and it's probably still one of my favorite maps that I've made today.
Building, teaching each other, that's a good thing, is having others to kind of learn off of and stuff like that. That's a big part of the creator community, and I just really appreciate that and value it a ton.
One of my favorite memories in Rec Room was the first contest I actually placed in. I got second place in the second creator contest for my room, Camp Lone Pine, and it was really cool for me because I was just using that map to learn how to build, and was just learning how to use the Maker Pen, and it was so great to see all of that hard work come to fruition and be appreciated and accepted within the community, and also get a cool reward for it.
All I'd want to tell the viewers is, please never give up, alright? If you ever think that you're going to need to walk away for a little while, that's fine. I get that. I've had to walk away for a little while, but never give up. If you have a project that you've had in your heart for a few months, or maybe even a few years, and you think you can't do it, you can. Take it on, do it, make it happen. It's all possible here in Rec Room.
So if you have something you like or love, like a musical or a sci-fi genre or anything like that, just find out how to do it. Learn how to do it and do it. You might not be good at first, but over the course of months or years, you're going to get good. And it's going to look good, and everything is going to be amazing.
One thing I'd like to tell the viewers is if you're new to Rec Room and you're new to the creation tools, my biggest advice would be, first of all, don't give up, right? If you're someone who's creative oriented or logically minded, then you have a lot of potential to bring new things to the table. But it's important to keep in mind that, everyone starts at their own level. Everyone pretty much starts from level 0 and you work your way up. So my best advice would be to start small, set realistic expectations, don't fail yourself. There is no failure. It's all about progress. It's all about seeing where you were and taking it a step further.
If you're looking into becoming a creator, start small, analyze the work around you, go to the gallery, analyze the gallery, analyze inventions, take them apart and see how they're put together.
If you're new to creating, just go out, either take a makerfin class or just try and make something on your own and see how it turns out.
And gather inspiration. There's lots of places you can gather inspiration, not just within Rec Room, but also outside of Rec Room. I use Pinterest as a way to get inspired, and I share those boards with others, and I would like them to get inspired by them as well. And then take combined inspiration. So if you find something that you really like about this that inspires you, and you really like something about this inspires you, combine them and create your own original ideas. And then start sketching and start coming up with plans and bring people together, and it morphs into an original idea. And eventually you'll have your own original works.
Another thing is try to be nice to everyone in the community. There's no reason to be toxic. There's no reason to bring negativity. And if we're all able to get along and share ideas, then we can create a beautiful place for everyone to really get along and make new friends, create new opportunities, and create amazing things.
One thing I would like to just say to the viewers is just never be discouraged. Always, always look on to improve yourself, to improve your buildings, and just expand your knowledge.
If you have the chance to just experience it, even if it's just like on a phone or something like that, just to mess around with the creative tools a little bit, I highly recommend it. I mean, it's really just changed my life. Like, I build for like hours a week, and it just makes me so happy. So if you have the opportunity to, just download Rec Room on any device, and just mess around with the MakerPen a little bit, I so highly recommend that. And I promise you, it'll be a great experience.
It's very hard to kind of, reach that limit to where you're not going to go surpass. You can always raise that limit with more practice, with, finding new techniques or looking at a new creator and how to do it.
If you take creation seriously in this game, it can affect your life. It can bring about new friends, new relationships, even new perspectives on life in general. And it's really an amazing opportunity. And see, the great thing about this technology is we are on the frontier, right? I'd consider us the pioneers of virtual reality because, this technology, it's been in development for, probably decades, but this is the first time that it's hitting the mainstream. And right now is our opportunity to set the standards, to set the precedent for the future, and to really kind of show off what humanity has in store. Virtual reality is a tremendous opportunity. I've said this many times before, to explore your own imagination. And it also is a great tool to inspire others. I've seen many people inspired through my work in the game, and that to me is just an amazing feeling, and it is something that everyone is capable of obtaining.
So something I'd love to tell everybody out there in Rec Room is to come join our club. Come be a member of the creative community. We are building all the time. We're constantly growing and inspiring one another. And it's a great community, and it's a great way to find a group of people in here that are just amazing, that you can build with and learn from and really help to continue to make Rec Room an awesome, super fun place to play, learn, and create.
Hey, welcome back. I hope these interviews gave you some insight into the creative community and the possibilities provided by the current creation tools. And once again, if you are someone who is new to Rec Room and you are interested in starting your journey as a creator, I would highly recommend checking out the Creative Club to get started. And if you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing, liking, and leaving a comment. Thanks for watching. See you later.